What's going on, everybody? It's Derek. This is the second episode of 5 Rounds with Franco. I just want to say thank you to everyone who shared the first video, who liked it, who gave me some feedback. Very much appreciated. Does not go unnoticed. Hopefully, it's only up from here. I wanted to change the background a little bit, give it a little bit more of a MMA vibe, since that's what I'm going to be talking about most of the time. Let's see. A couple of posters we have back here is DC versus Stipe 1. Connor versus Habib. We all know what happened there. Was good, Dylan Dennis. And then UFC 227, Dillashaw versus Garbrandt 2, which I actually had the opportunity to attend. And that was really cool. Seeing Mr. EPO knock out Cody, seeing DJ lose his belt, and actually being his last fight in the UFC. So that was really cool. But real quick, a UFC 251 recap. Starting off with the first fight, Paige Van Zandt versus Amanda Ribas. That kind of went as expected. Amanda Ribas had her way with Paige, defeated her via armbar at the end of the first round. That has to suck for Paige, traveling 18 hours to Abu Dhabi and then losing in 2 minutes. That's tough that's a tough pill to swallow for sure. But shout out to Amanda Ribas. Her stock's only going to go up from here, so that's really good for her, the country of Brazil. So yeah. On to the second one, Rose Namajunas versus Jessica Andrade. That was a war for sure. At first, Rose Namajunas in the first round was doing Rose Namajunas things, man. Was picking her apart, was just outclassing her on the feet, and which is kind of hard to do with Jessica Andrade, because Jessica Andrade, that's her favorite thing, is standing up and boxing. So, but then second, third round, Jessica Andrade turned up the heat, started chasing Rose a lot more and tagging her, and but came up short still, and Rose got the victory. So congrats to Rose, Pat Barry, Trevor Whitman for all of that. On to the first title fight, Jose Aldo versus Peter Yan. Peter Yan, man, I mean, that kid showed that he is tough, but Jose Aldo kind of pressed pause on those leg kicks and on the body shots. He slowed down for sure coming the fourth and fifth round, and Peter Yan executed. Peter Yan won the first, the fourth, and the fifth, and clearly he won the fifth by knocking out Jose Aldo and claiming his strap. So congrats to Peter Yan. I'm very excited to see his what he has in the future. I think that he needs to face Aljamain Sterling next. I think that's the fight to make if you are the UFC. And as a fan, I'm very excited to see that. So congrats Peter Yan and team, and we'll see what he has in the future. Co-main event. This one kind of left a little sour taste in my mouth after Max Holloway. I usually am never saying robbery, because, that's what happens when you leave it to the judges. But, here there's 3 judges that are still out free, and they robbed Max Holloway. Max Holloway dropped Alex Volkanovski in the first 2 rounds. Max won, I believe, in my opinion, won the third round. And Volkanovski made those adjustments as well and came back 4th and 5th round and really turned up the heat on Max. But Max showed no sign of weakness as he did in the first fight. In the first fight, we saw his legs giving out. We saw his legs bothering him. And in this fight, that wasn't the case. But, that's what happens, though, when you have the fate in the judge's hands. It's stuff like that is going to happen. But shout out to DraftKings. If you actually bet on Max Holloway, they gave you your money back because that was such a big robbery. So shout out to DraftKings for that one. And shout out to Alex Volkanovski for the W. But I do think that we need to see a third fight. I don't think it will happen right away, but I definitely think we need to see that one more time. And then on to the main event. Kamaru Usman versus Jorge Masvidal. Kamaru Usman did Kamaru Usman things. Kamaru Usman attacked the weakness of George Masvidal and executed on it. And sorry, that's my daughter. And he attacked the weakness of George and grappled him, put him against the cage, did the shoulder Connor move, did this foot stomps, and came out victorious and still the champion. I do think George will be back. I think we should see George versus Colby. The winner will go ahead and face whoever's the challenger or the champion at that time. Whether Kamaru Usman has a fight in between that time or doesn't. But yeah, I think Colby versus George is the next fight to make. We saw the pay-per-view buys. We saw how big that was. So kudos to UFC. Kudos to Jorge Masvidal for proving that he is a superstar. But going on to UFC Fight Night Wednesday night. I love these cards. These give me something to look forward to on a Monday and on a Tuesday. Gives me something to study. So I appreciate these midweek fights. But it's going to be headlined by Dan Ige and Calvin Kattar. Both these dudes are monsters. Both these dudes are just absolute beasts. They bring it every single time they come to the cage, as you should. Sorry, guys, I'm just bringing it up here. And so we're going to go ahead and start. I'm just going to go over the main card, and we're going to go ahead and pick. Sorry, and start to pick from the first fight on the main card, which is Abdul Al-Hassan versus Monir Lazez. I know that they call Monir the sniper. He'll stand in the pocket with you every time he does knock out his opponents. They literally just fall, like right where they're at. They just fall. No stumbling, no dazed and confused. They fall. So he is a monster. He is a beast. But that dude Abdul training in Texas, I think he's a Texas kid. He fucking hits hard. I always like watching his fights. And I believe that he will get the W. I think Abdul will knock out Monir by the second round. And I think this won't be the last of these guys at all. I think Monir will see in the future. But I think Abdul is on a momentum roll right now. And I think that he gets the job done in the second round. On to the second fight. Ranked number 14, Molly McCann will be facing Taylor Santos. And this was a heated weigh-in earlier today. Molly McCann just looked like she was going to kill the girl. And I think that's what's going to happen in the octagon. I think Molly McCann is going to go ahead and wrestle her. I think Molly McCann is going to ground and pound her. And I think that Molly McCann is going to go ahead and get the job done by decision. And get her hand raised at the end of the night. On to Cody Stamann versus Jimmy Rivera. Jimmy Rivera is coming off getting COVID-19. He's lost the last 3 out of his 4 fights. Cody Stamann's coming off a win on June 6th. I think he fought sometime in June. And he actually fought a few days after his brother died unexpectedly. So shout out to Cody Stamann for being able to do that. And being able to perform the way he did against Brian Kelleher last month. And I think he still has that momentum role. He's an underdog here in this card, and I'm going to put him on my parlay. I have him beating Jimmy Rivera, and I think he'll get the job done in the 3rd round. I think he'll knock Jimmy Rivera out, and Cody Stamann will go ahead and get that momentum still going and still rolling, and, and carry on from there. On to the co-main event, Tim Elliott against Ryan Benoit. I think Ryan Benoit is, both these guys are savages, but I think Ryan Benoit is a little bit more tougher than Tim Elliott. Tim Elliott does have a nasty ground game, but he gets a little, he gets a little cocky. He stands on his feet, and he likes to fight the other person's fight, even though he's a monster. He can stand in the pocket with you as well. But with somebody like Ryan Benoit is going to fight you in a phone booth. He will fight you right up in front of your face and take your fucking head off. That's what he's going to do. And Ryan Benoit is another underdog. So I think I'm going to parlay Cody Stamann and Ryan Benoit. Those are 2 underdogs that have real life potential to get the W on Wednesday night. And like I said, I think Ryan Benoit will win by decision and continue his UFC career. On to the main event, Calvin Kattar versus Dan 50K Ige. This one is tough to call, man. Number 6, Calvin Kattar versus 10, Dan Ige. It's going to be a war. Someone's going to get put to bed. I personally am a big fan of Dan Ige, so I'm trying not to have that be a biased pick. But I personally have met him a few times, talked to him a few times. Really good dude, down to earth, man. Um, if I'm gonna be doing a parlay, I think I might parlay Calvin Kattar to win. I think Calvin Kattar is going to knock out Dan Ige in the second round. Even though the fan in me is hoping that does not happen, but betting wise, I am gonna have to go with Calvin Kattar. I think he will get the job done against Dan Ige. So all in all, what I would parlay tomorrow if somebody wants to make some money: Ryan Benoit, Calvin Kattar, and Cody Stamen. Those three, you bet $30, $40. I think you'll come out positive, and I think that's a good parlay card to pick. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, this is only the second one. It's only going to get better from here. Thank you, appreciate for watching. Please share with friends, family, whoever watch UFC, and see if they see what they think. I would love to hear a lot of feedback. I would love to hear, if you guys did win using my picks. That's why I like to post my winnings and even my losings, because it's a testimony to my videos. And, I'm not going to get all of them right all the time, but I can only give you my best and my honest opinion. So, parlay, Cody Stamen, Ryan Benoit, Calvin Kattar. Good luck.